There are many options for seed-to-sale software, and it can be tough to choose which one will keep you both compliant and offer business intelligence. If you are going to use Adilas as your seed-to-sale software system, you should understand the basic concepts of marijuana compliance in order to grasp the importance of following each step within this course. A general introduction to cannabis regulation is offered in this section as it directly relates to seed-to-sale tracking. This is an introduction and shouldn't be considered a comprehensive compliance course. Internal company policies, procedures, and standards should be understood to ensure compliance with company rules. Federal, state, or local, and business compliance will be referenced throughout this training using these symbols. In short, the federal government has announced its lack of interest in prosecuting cannabis businesses operating in clear compliance with state law. Marijuana is listed as a Schedule I controlled substance under U.S. Code. Since states have begun adopting their own medical marijuana laws, the federal government has offered mixed messages regarding their priority of enforcing marijuana regulations. In addition to state laws, administrators and employees should understand the basic principles of the federal letters and memos used by the industry to define best practices. Here are the basics. In 2009, federal guidance was offered by the Department of Justice in what is now known as the Ogden Memo. The summary of October 19, 2009 Memorandum for Selected United States Attorneys from David W. Ogden, Deputy Attorney General. The subject, investigations and prosecutions in state authorizing the medical use of marijuana. Typically, when any of the following characteristics is present, the conduct will not be in clear and ambiguous compliance with applicable state laws and may indicate illegal drug trafficking activity or potential federal interest. Unlawful possession or unlawful use of firearms, violence, sales to minors, or financial and marketing activities inconsistent with the terms, conditions, or purposes of the state law, including evidence of money laundering, activity, and or financial gains or excessive amounts of cash inconsistent with purported compliance with state or local law, amounts of marijuana inconsistent with purported compliance with state or local law, illegal possession or sale of other controlled substances, or ties to other criminal enterprises. The Cole Memo, released on June 29, 2011, addressed issues of the industry regarding matters of banking. An update known as the Cole Memo 2 was released in August 2013. A letter to federal firearms licensees was issued on September 21, 2011 regarding medical marijuana patients' right to bear arms. The Indian Lands Memo of October 28, 2014 addressed policy statement regarding marijuana law issues in Indian country. The Tax Memo, released January 23, 2015, addresses taxpayer trafficking in a Schedule or Schedule II controlled substance, capitalization of inventorial costs. As a result of guidance set forth by the Department of Justice and other federal agencies, cannabis business operators should conduct their business in a manner that takes in consideration the 8 Department of Justice requirements. Number 1. Preventing the distribution of marijuana to minors. Number 2, preventing revenue from the sale of marijuana from going to criminal enterprises, gangs, and cartels. Number 3, preventing the diversion of marijuana from states where it is legal under state law in some form to other states. Number 4, preventing state-authorized marijuana activity from being used as a cover or pretext for the trafficking of other illegal drugs or other illegal activity. Number 5, preventing violence and the use of firearms in the cultivation and distribution of marijuana. Number 6, preventing drug driving and the exacerbation or other adverse public health consequences associated with marijuana use. Number 7, preventing the growing of marijuana on public lands and the attendant public safety and environmental dangers posed by marijuana production on public lands. Number 8, preventing marijuana possession or use on federal property. Section 280E of the Internal Revenue Code forbids businesses from deducting otherwise ordinary business expenses from gross income associated with the cost of trafficking of Schedule 1 or 2 substances. The National Cannabis Industry Association presented great advice in a 2015 memo, demonstrating an understanding of the historical and current implications of 280E on cannabis businesses in detail. 280E is a discussion in most cannabis business courses these days. How data is recorded, collected, and presented in a business enterprise resource planning system such as Adilas.biz will be critical come tax time. While I can't offer tax advice, Adilas 420 does offer tools for tracking granular level expenses and sales details for auditable records and storage of supporting documentation. For more details on U.S. or other countries' federal laws, search Adilas 420 courses by location. For more information about your state or local guidelines, search Adilas 420 courses by location. It is important that all data is tracked in consideration of federal guidance offered and in clear compliance with the rules set forth by your state, province, or local jurisdiction. State legislation is requiring strict licensing procedures and oversight by state agencies. In some states, marijuana establishments are regulated by agencies such as the Department of Health Services, whereas in others it might be a regulatory body such as the Department of Agriculture, Department of Revenue, or a newly formed agency specific for marijuana, or even a combination of multiple agencies. The state may require the use of a state traceability software and/or require the business to maintain its own data using an enterprise resource platform, or ERP, in which data regarding financials, sales, employment, and manufacturing records may be made available to the state at any time. A marijuana company should have policies and procedures and standard operating procedures that address all requirements for full compliance with state rules. These documents are often required as part of the application and licensing process. The purpose of tracking software is to collect data based on a business's workflow. The software may be used by accountants, bookkeepers, business operators, or regulators. Multiple types of software might be used to track your business or control business records and documents. While Adilas may be used for all tracking and accounting, using other software may be helpful in organizing your data and supporting documentation. However, other software may not be required at all. Adilas is an all-in-one cannabis business software. The following lessons will help you get started with the basics of marijuana compliance and Adilas seed-to-sale software. This course will cover how to get started in Adilas, how to manage the people, including adding users, customers, and vendors, how to manage the product, including adding categories, POs, and items, and how to manage the process, including inventory management, sales, and reporting. Let's get started.